All right. Happy new moon, Scorpio new moon. And yeah, welcome to the new moon and astrology, new moon astrology and aromatherapy class. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Sheridan Semple. I'm a shamanic astrologer and a spiritual and medicinal aromatherapist, along with a bunch of other things, but that's all that really pertains to us being here today. So we're going to learn a little bit about the new moon. We'll learn about the sign that it's in, Scorpio. So we'll learn about Scorpio, and then we'll learn about 2 essential oils, plant medicine that support that Scorpio energy. We'll do a new moon intention setting ceremony. So make sure you have like some pen and paper and a glass of water. And if you have any essential oils, you're welcome to use them. The 2 I'm going to be teaching about in class are Patchouli and Vetiver. So if you have those, that's like an extra bonus. And if you don't have any essential oils, that's fine too. And then we'll talk about kind of what's going on astrologically, and then that's it. So let's just sit and just open the space between us. You could anoint yourself with your essences if you have them, or a smudge stick or whatever, just kind of helps get you grounded. And then just start to connect into, feel your body, maybe let go of anything else that was happening today before you sat down here. And just feel your seat. Maybe you feel your feet on the floor, or maybe they're curled up underneath you on the seat. And just feel your heart. Just check in, connect to your heart space. And just take some breaths and just let that settle you. And if you are using some plant medicine, just let that be the bridge, the guide that helps drop you into your body and connects you from your heart down into the earth. And the earth back up into your heart. And just feel that exchange of energy between you and the earth, between your heart and the heart of the earth. And then now from your heart, begin to reach up towards the sky, towards the sun, wherever the sun is in the sky, where you are right now. That's where the new moon is taking place. It happens when the moon and the sun come together. That's why we can't see the moon. It's with the sun, with source, we say. And then feel that connection from your heart up to the new moon with the sun, and from the moon and the sun back to your heart. Exchange going both directions. Where you commingle the energies of the earth and the sky within your heart and reach back out to both from your heart. And right now, the sun and the moon are both in Scorpio, which is a water energy, feeling realm. It's perfect with the moon and the underworld because Scorpio is that underworld shamanic energy that feels the most intense, deepest feelings, wants to cultivate the most life force in the body, isn't afraid of going into the shadow because it knows that's where the juice is. It's turned on by the intensity of feeling and energy and experience. We'll do the intention setting ceremony towards the end, but start to feel into what is your intention for this moon cycle? Just this 1 month cycle, and just one intention, something you would like to focus on, create, change, open, whatever it is. There's no wrong intention that's right for you in this moment for this month. Planting that seed with the energy of the new moon, being in conscious co-creation, connection with the natural cycles surrounding us. This is the time to plant the seed that you would like to see grow to fruition over the next month. You may know it already, you may not have it completely figured out, but just feel into the beginnings or the entirety of what that intention might be. And then taking a breath, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your focus back into the class. And I will share my screen and show you my slides for this new moon class. Okay, take a second to share. There we go. Okay, so I always like to start with some image that shows the moon cycle. So the sun here on the side, and then you can see the earth in the middle, and the new moon is when the earth is between us, right? We don't have an eclipse right now, which would be if they're exactly between us, but they're in between us, maybe a little below the sun. And then as it starts to move, the moon starts to fill in from the right till it gets to the half moon. It keeps filling until it's the full moon when it's on the opposite side of us. And then it begins to empty from the right as well. So we get to the half moon, then the crescent, and then back to the new moon. And so we're in that new moon space today. And here's the astrological chart of the new moon, which is at 10:47 tonight Mountain Time. So if you are in the East Coast or even in Puerto Rico, it'll actually be, the new moon will be, you know, just after midnight or 1 a.m. this morning. But we're in that window of time now. And here you can see the chart. Down here in that bottom corner, lost my cursor, the moon and the sun are exactly together down here in this fourth house, right? 23 degrees Scorpio. So I just wanted you to be able to see what that looks like on the chart. And that's the actual moment of the new moon, but it happens while they're here together. It doesn't have to be at that exact time. Oh, there it is. I even had a little animation I forgot. Okay, so Scorpio energy. I love, love, love Scorpio so much. So like I said, oops, what happened? There we go. As I said in the beginning, when we were kind of just tuning in, Scorpio is a water sign. So it's all about feelings, right? Emotions. That doesn't mean the other signs don't have emotions. It's just that this is Scorpio's realm. It's like the feeling realm of things. That's what water is all about. And Scorpio is what we call a self-exploration sign, meaning it's all about exploring water just for the sake of that, right? Exploring water to the nth degree, right? That's why it's about the intensity of you really deep feelings, right? Water to like the furthest water can go is what Scorpio is all about. It's considered a left brain sign, and it's actually that's wrong. It's right brain. I put that in wrong, or I didn't change it. It's right brain feminine, because water's feminine and water is right brain, where the feminine left brain signs are the earth signs. So it is the cross quarter sign. Okay, so when we get to halfway between the fall equinox and the winter solstice, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, between the September equinox and the December solstice, halfway mark is in Scorpio. So in shamanic astrology, we mark it when the sun gets to 15 degrees Scorpio is the cross quarter mark. Some, like the Celts, saw Samhain as the cross quarter, and that is at the full moon while the sun is in Scorpio. So the Taurus full moon, because the full moon is always the opposite sign of the sun. So Scorpio is about the deepest, most intense feelings. It's about aliveness, energy, juice, depth, passion, the edge, right? Scorpio likes to push things to the edge. It loves the intensity, right? It's about feeling what elicits the most feeling for Scorpio, whatever that is. It responds to desire and what turns it on, right? In that feeling wise realm. It's about a strong individuated will. It's considered the shamanic path. So the path that can go between the worlds, like the underworld, or goes through the death and rebirth cycles. That's the shamanic path, right? Of going to the underworld, the shadow, clearing something out. So it's a death of a part of you that is no longer serving you. So you can come into more fullness, more aliveness with who you really are, right? That's what Scorpio is a lot about. It's about mastery of that underworld dimension, that symbolic death and rebirth cycles. It's a catalyst for the shadow. So sometimes people that have a lot of Scorpio in their chart, they can feel like they are shadow magnets where they catalyze or bring out the shadow in other people, because one, Scorpio is here to learn about its shadow. So triggering that in others and the feeling that elicits kind of takes you into having to deal with your own shadow. As that's more and more healed, then it becomes less something triggery for you. But that's something with the people that have a lot of Scorpio or a lot of underworld themes in their chart, or a lot of Pluto aspecting personal planets, things like that, they can all feel like this catalyst for the shadow. And Scorpio's really interested in Tantra. So Tantra, a lot of times we know of as like the sexuality components, which is definitely a part of it for Scorpio, but it's also about life force energy. That's really what the tantric yogic path is about, cultivating life force, generating life force through the body. The sexuality component is just one aspect of that, where in our modern world, we kind of have a little bit more of the focus, but Scorpio is about all of Tantra and cultivating that energy, juice, aliveness through the body. Scorpio asks, what is the nature of my desires, feelings, manifestation, and sexuality as an enlightenment path? And its spiritual path is to explore the right use of will, right? Desire, what it wants, and engagement with power, right? Energy, that life force, to plug directly into the infinite energy of great mystery or spirit or the goddess or the universe, right? Whatever terms you like to use for that. And here is the Scorpio goddess invocation. O mighty goddess of death and rebirth, queen of powerful magic and life force energy, inspired by your commanding strength and power, we ask you to guide us into the depths of your mysteries as we learn to continually dive deep into the feeling realms, going deeper than we have ever been before, experiencing surrender into the mysteries of life, death, life, dying and being reborn again and again, each time with greater power, mastery, and wisdom. Great goddess of magic and mystery, help us to transform our fears of being a catalyst and powerfully showing up as we truly are, powerful, intense, and alive. Guide us to align our will with your divine will, fully embracing our catalytic nature as we bring the shadow to light, liberating the infinite source of life force energy that is still bound by our fear, so that we may truly live and express the magnificence that we are. And that invocation comes from Kaylin Castell and Tammy Brunk at venusalchemy.com. Okay, so now as we move into the spiritual aromatherapy, here is a quote from Robin Zeck, who's a naturopathic doctor, in the book she wrote, The Blossoming Heart. So all plant remedies have the potential to initiate an awakening of the soul. It is the spirit of the plants that touches our souls. To draw beauty into our lives through all of the senses can heighten and deepen our awareness of how to influence our physical health, our state of mind, and our connection to spirit. In modern times, flowers, plants, and herbs have continued to be widely regarded and used in a variety of therapies as symbols of the soul to unlock our spiritual potential. Okay, here's the first one we're going to learn about, patchouli. Love, love, love patchouli. Such a beautiful plant, right? So patchouli, where's my notes, is this bushy shrub, right? With these pale pink to white flowers. And so a lot of times this is an essence that people have a strong opinion about because of the association with like hippies and that. But I have to say, if you have a really pure patchouli, it is a divine smell, and it won't smell like a dirty hippie to you, I swear. So it grows to about 2.5 feet tall. So it's not like a huge shrub. It's native to the tropical regions of Asia. And the one I have is steam distilled from the flowers and leaves and comes from India. And here are the spiritual and emotional as well as physical uses. So it awakens within the soul a deep yearning for peace, helps provide spiritual insights, unification with the soul retrieval, another shamanic idea, brings fragments of your spirit back together, which is kind of another way of saying soul retrieval. The shadow work support, right? All of this is very Scorpio. It's also very much this time of the year, right? The cross quarter, the fall, the Scorpio energy, Samhain, Halloween, right? We had all of this. Brings deep peace of the earth into you. Spiritual nourishment. Supports calm after pushing to the edge, right? This is why it's also supportive of Scorpio. Mood enhancer. It helps with depression, insomnia and rest, freedom and divine love, and self-love. Physical uses. It boosts the immune system, reduces inflammation of like joints and arthritis, strengthens the hair, clears dandruff, skin conditions like dryness, eczema, insect repellent, hormonal balance, natural deodorant, heavy metal detoxification, antiviral, antifungal, and it's a sedative if insomnia. Now, vetiver, this beautiful grass, and vetiver grows like 6 feet tall. It's native to tropical and subtropical areas of the Indian subcontinent. So like India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Indochina, like Thailand and Myanmar. It's steam distilled from the roots. So I think we'll see in the next picture. And the one I have comes from Haiti. So see, this picture is blurry, but I still wanted to use it so you could see, like, right, here's the grass. And then look, the roots are so much longer than the grass. So it's used a lot for like detoxifying water and certain areas. It purifies. And so spiritual and emotional uses. Helps you face your shadows, grounding into the earth, underworld energy, right? It's steam distilled from the root. So all Scorpio stuff. Helps you release what no longer serves you, right? That's why we go to the underworld and do the shadow work. It increases your endurance and strength, right? That energy, aliveness that Scorpio loves. helps us remain open to the challenges that we're going through as opposed to like starting to shut down. It's nourishing and calming, relaxing. It helps with depression and anxiety. It helps with exhaustion, an overactive mind, and self-identity and boundaries, right? So self-identity is something else that Scorpio is working through. Physical uses, sleep and insomnia, skin conditions as well, like eczema, connective tissue like joints and arthritis again, hormonal balancing, right? We're seeing some things repeated between these two. Immune stimulant. It supports the liver, the pancreas, and spleen. It helps with the poor appetite, weight loss, malabsorption. It's also insect repellent and nerve pain. And it's just this like thick, gooey, like rich, just a very earthy, fabulous smell. Okay, so let's do our new moon ceremony, right? So this is just all about, the reason why we even do ceremony is to help us work consciously, connect consciously with the cycles that are going on around us, right? If we were still our indigenous people, our ancestors, this would be a part of our community and what we would do. And that's why we do it here. So you can anoint yourselves with the essences again, or just kind of tune into the earth, right? Maybe you can see plants out the window or where the sun and the moon is, right? Something that just helps you connect into nature around you. And then also when we set intentions with that energy, we're like co-creating, where the energy of nature is like supporting what we're doing, and we're supporting what nature is doing at the same time. So again, I always like to set like one intention, plant one seed for this moon cycle. And we'll do that in just one moment. And here is my prayer to the new moon. Within the darkness of the new moon, I'm held in the womb of creation and transformation. I consciously plant my seed of intention to grow over this emerging moon cycle that supports me in expressing my truest self. I invite my soul, my guides, and spirit to help me in creating an intention that supports my highest expression. Honoring my ancestral roots, I connect consciously to the moon with my deepest, purest self. I honor the dark of the new moon as the time to end and begin another cycle, increasing my connection to the natural world around me. Okay, let's set our intentions. So if you have something you want to write them on, or you just want to have them in your mind, maybe you already figured it out in the initial meditation, but if not, we'll just take a minute or two right now to get clear on what that intention is for us. And then, as we're ready to move into the next part of the ceremonial piece, you'll take your glass of water, and I'll mute myself so you won't hear me. And you're all muted so no one else can hear you. And you can whisper or say or sing or yell at the top of your lungs your intention into the water, right? Infusing the water, the Scorpio water of this new moon with your seed of intention, and then drink it. So it comes through, infuse and nourishes all of your cells while you're connected to the earth and to the sky. All right, just feel that percolating through all of your cells, supported by the Scorpio new moon, the Scorpio energy. And then let's look at the astrology once more. And we'll talk about what's going on right now. So, okay, here we are again. All right, so what we've been talking about all year, all 2020, what I've been calling the big three, right? We have Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto all traveling here together. And so if you've been kind of paying attention to this, Pluto has been in the middle until just now, right? So now it's Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, right? Jupiter in the middle. So you can see Jupiter and Saturn are right together, 22 and 23 degrees Capricorn. All of this is happening in Capricorn, right? So the big three, that's all about Saturn, which is like the real world planet, middle world planet of like what works, what doesn't work, what systems need changing, right? What systems need our energy put towards. Then Pluto has been there, which is all about the underworld. It's a resonant energy with Scorpio. It's about what needs composting, right? Feeling the deepest feelings around what needs to shift and change in our world, right? So it could be a lot of fear, right? We've been in a pandemic. It's been intense. People have been angry. There's been a lot of like violence, intense emotions, as well as like a lot of pride in these protests and putting energy towards what's good and better in the world. And Jupiter is the great expander. So whatever it touches, it just expands, it adds intensity, it makes bigger, right? So right now we're in this time where we're moving towards them breaking up, which will happen in January. But right now, Jupiter and Pluto are exactly conjunct. They're right together, right? So like the new moon is with the sun, Jupiter and Pluto are right together right now. So that means there's this like added energy around those deeper, more shadow feelings of fear, intensity, maybe grief, anger, sorrow, things like that, that are what are helping us move through to changing the structures and systems in our world that are not working, right? So it doesn't mean all of this happens overnight, but it's like our new moon planting the seed of intention. we're in this time of intention to shift these patterns, structures in this deep feeling, somewhat scary, intense kind of a way that's all really expanded, right? So it's kind of perfect. This Scorpio new moon, we have Jupiter and Pluto conjunct. And then they're also square, which you can see the little sign in the red there, Venus right now. Pluto and Venus are exactly conjunct. They're both 22 degrees right now. Jupiter's only less than a degree away. So for me, what that shows is it's like bringing the divine feminine, which is what Venus is, or you could call it the goddess energy, right? Where Mars is the divine masculine or the God energy, is bringing the goddess, that divine feminine energy, into that big three, especially around Pluto and Jupiter. And so I feel like we're in a time where things are ramping up again, right? We're kind of having bigger numbers with the pandemic. There's more intensity. There's more restrictions starting to come, right? Because it's still another time for us to dive deeper into what is the structure and system we're wanting to change, what needs composting, what collectively and personally are we trying to clear out of our shadow so we can come into more empowerment. And with Venus there, I feel like that's so much about bringing that divine feminine, that goddess energy back into the mix, because for thousands of years we've been in this patriarchal system, which is not anti-men. It hasn't been a positive thing for men necessarily either, where it's just been so skewed in that direction. And I feel like so much of what we're trying to do right now is that move back towards a more equal place between all of us, right? Male, female, white and black, right? All these things that are going on, the earth, all of it, So that is what I see really big in the astrology right now. And we will bring things to a close. And then if you're here live, stay after and I can answer any questions and we can talk about all of it. But in the meantime, I have a couple of announcements. So the next class is going to be the Sagittarius new moon, which will be Monday, December 14th at 4 p.m. Mountain. We're going to learn about laurel leaf and eucalyptus gully gum and I don't know if it's gully gum. I think it might be blue mallee. Well, one type of eucalyptus. And it's always recorded, so if you can't be here live. And then starting in January, I'm going to change the class format. So I used to teach these live classes here in person in Aspen called Discover Essential Oils. And I've had some students asking me to bring those back. And obviously because of COVID, we can't do that. So I'm going to do that online. So I'm going to be mixing these classes together. So we're going to have the new moon and the sign and the astrology, as well as one essence. We're going to work on one essential oil, one plant medicine. We'll learn about a little bit more in depth, and I will send out samples to go with it. So it's going to be like a combination of these classes, and it will have a fee. So this won't be a free class going forward, but you'll get this sample of the essential oil. But free offerings always are my bi-monthly. I send out a newsletter about the astrology and aromatherapy that's going on, and I will fill out more of the new moon part so that there is still a new moon free offering, where you could do ceremony on your own. But otherwise, I hope you'll join the class, and then you'll have the essence and everything. Okay, that's basically it. If you have more questions or anything, you can find me at SheridanSemple.com. Okay, thanks for being here.